everybody to Saturday morning slow flow. We're going to start today on the back. Everybody, you're in the studio, is already there. You come there whenever you're ready. Take a moment just to arrive. Lay on your back. Let your breath start to take over. Let it guide you, ground you to your mat. Linda, there's Linda. Let your breath push all those other distractions to the background. So you're fully focused on your mat, your practice, fully present to your mat, your practice. Once you feel like you've got that full focus on your breath, then you'll add that element of control to your breath. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Allow your breaths to become longer, slower, deeper. So as you inhale, pull the breath all the way down to your belly. And as you exhale, you push it all the way out. And that way we can move just with one breath, one movement. Now when you're ready to start moving here, right? All you're going to do at first, take your knees, hug them in to your chest. Now we're going to come back down to our back in a second here, but right now, I want you to just rock yourself up and come to easy sit. Right? You can put whichever leg you want in front first. We're going to do this a couple times, so we'll have a chance to switch legs, right? But we're just going to do a little opening flow here, right? So you're going to lift your hands up to the sky as you inhale. As we exhale first, we're just going to side bend each way. Drop your right hand down to your right side. Reach that left hand up and over. Come back to center here and go the other way. Drop your left hand down. Reach your right hand up and over. Inhale, come back up. Now this time as you exhale, you're just going to turn your palms towards me. Drop your hands in front of you and then just walk forward. Right, so you're coming into that forward fold, keeping your hips on the ground, walking your hands as far forward as you can. Now, come back up. Here, sweep your hands back up to the sky. This time, you're going to kick your legs out straight, and you're going to lay all the way down on the mat, right? So your fingertips are reaching behind you, your toes are pointing towards the front of the room like the tip of a pencil, right? You're just opening everything up. Now, from here, you're just going to take your right knee, hug it in to your chest. Right, so just hug it in nice and tight at first. And then take your left hand, let your left hand go out long to the side, like it's in a T position. And you're going to take your right hand to the inside of that right knee and just push that right knee open to the right. So in this little fallen tree position, letting the right knee open up. And then you're going to take your right hand underneath your right knee, Draw that right knee back to center. Take your left hand, reach it across. Put your left hand outside your right knee. Draw that right knee over to the left side of your body. Now let your right arm come out long in a T position. So you're just taking a little single knee twist here, opening up that right hip. Then you're going to pull that right knee back to center, give it a hug into your chest again. And then we're just going to switch legs. So you're going to send that left leg long, send that right leg long, take that left knee, hug it in, tighten it first. And we're going to open it up both ways. So you're taking your right arm, releasing it, right arm goes out to a T, left hand comes to the inside of your left knee, and you just push it open into that fallen tree. Take a breath there, and then take your left hand, slide it underneath your left knee. You're going to pull that left knee back up, bring your right arm across to the outside of your left knee, draw that left knee over to the right side of your body. Now your left arm goes out long. Now bring that right knee back, left knee back to center here. Right now, you're going to drop that left foot to the ground. Take your right knee, put your right foot on the ground. Take your hands to your sides. Now, you're going to walk your feet super close together here. Make it close enough that your big toes are touching, all right? And then push into your feet. Let your hips lift off the ground. Once your hips are off the ground, all you're going to do here, you're going to keep that right knee pressing into the left. But you're just going to kick that right foot straight out in front of you, all right? And then drop that right foot back down. Now press the left knee into the right and kick your left foot straight out in front of you. And then drop it back down. Now, let your hips float back down to the mat. Take your knees, hug them back into your chest, and we're going to rock ourselves back up to easy sit. That's where we started. This time, take your other leg in front. So your awkward leg is going to go in front. We're going to do that one more time through that whole little sequence. Right? It's the same sequence. We're going to add a little bit onto it. Right? Wake up our bodies just a little bit more as we work our way through it a second time. We start the same way, though. We're going to sweep our hands up to the sky. You're going to drop your right arm to the right. Reach that left hand up and over. Come back up to center. Drop that left hand, reach the right hand up and over. Come back up to center. And then from here, you're going to turn your palms towards the front of the room, drop them down, and just walk it forward. And then from there, walk it back up. All right, now you're going to kick your legs out long, take your hands in front of you. Now we're going to come down to that pencil stretch again, right? So you're laying all the way down on your back. Toes are pointed forward, hands are reaching overhead. Take a breath in that pencil stretch, and then from here, see if you can just lift your hands up off the mat. So they're floating over the mat, and lift your heels up off the mat. Right? So everything's hovering. Just take a breath there. And then let it all come down. Now you're going to take your right knee, bring it into your chest. This time, as your right knee comes into your chest, lift your head and shoulders up so that you're bringing your nose towards your right knee, like you touch it. Right? And then really flex those left toes back towards you and see if you can lift your left heel off the mat. So engaging our core a little bit here. And then from there, let everything relax down. You're still hugging that right knee into your chest. Now you're going to open it up into that fallen tree. So you push your right knee open to the right as your left arm goes out long. And you take your right hand underneath your right knee, bring it back up, take your left hand across the outside of your right knee, guide that left knee over, right knee over to the left side of your body. Keeping that right arm out long. And bring that right knee back in, hug it in, and then switch your legs. So you're going to send that right leg long, you're going to hug the left knee in. And then from here, we're going to add on that a little bit here. So you're going to lift your head and shoulders, push your nose towards your left knee, and then really flex into your right foot so you can lift that right heel off the ground. Now let everything relax back down. Take your left hand to the inside of your left knee, push it open into the fallen tree, taking your right arm out long. Give yourself a breath here. And then let's switch it out. You're going to take your left hand underneath your left knee, pull it back up to center, and then take your right hand over. Bring that right knee across the left side of your left knee across the right side of your body as your left arm goes out long. Now, bring that left knee back in, hug it into your chest, and then drop that left foot down to the mat. Bring the right foot to join it. Now you're still going to bring your feet nice and close together here. What I want you to do this time, if it feels okay, is take your arms out to a T, right? Then press into your feet and lift your hips up off the ground. So you're in this modified bridge. Now from here, you're going to take your right foot. This time just kick it straight up to the sky, right? So let it come away from your left knee. Really push that left heel into the mat to keep you lifted. Now drop that right foot down and then press that right heel into the mat. Keep the left foot up to the sky. And then drop that left foot down. Let your hips come down. Hug your knees back into your chest and rock yourself back up. Now this time, we're just gonna make our way around into tabletop. So now we're coming around, you got your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Right, we're gonna go into our sun salutations from here. So you're just gonna tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Come into your first down dog of the morning. As you're moving here, if you want to, you can walk the dog, bending one knee and the other. You can sway your hips, or you can stay still. And then from here, you're gonna bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet towards your hands, come to forward fold. So now your belly's touching your upper thighs, your head's hanging heavy and long. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Creases on the back of your neck. Now, as we go into our sun salutations, we're gonna start with some twists. They're a little bit different, right? We're just gonna walk our hands over to the outside of the right foot, right? So you're twisting, you're staying in that forward fold, and maybe you can get all the way around to where your hands wrap around the back of your right heel. Maybe you're not getting that deep. It's okay, if your hands are just outside your right foot, that's okay. Now walk it back to center here and then go the other way. Walk your hands outside your left foot, maybe all the way back to wrap around your heel, or maybe just barely past your pinky toe, right? Whatever your body is doing. Now bring it back to the center again. This time as we inhale, we're gonna take a half lift monkey, shoulders even with the hips. As you exhale, fold back down. As you inhale, reverse swan dive, come all the way up to standing. As we come all the way up to standing here, now you're just gonna drop your right hand to your right side. So just slide those fingertips as low down your right leg as you can. Let that left hand reach up and over, just into your side bend. Inhale, come back up here, both arms overhead. Now you're gonna drop your left hand, let it slide down along your left thighs as much as you can as that right arm reaches up and over. Come back to center here. This time as we exhale, we're gonna drop into cactus arms. Bend your elbows. And then as you inhale, open your chest. And then as you exhale, go into a back bend, hips forward, chest and gaze up. Inhale, come up tall, arms go overhead. And then exhale, swan dive it all the way back down into forward fold. Now take another half lift to monkey here. Shoulders even with the hips. Fold back down. This time we plant the palms, step or float, back to plank. As you exhale, right, you're gonna lower through your chaturanga. Now you can drop to your knees to do that. I should say that first, right? But you just bend your elbows, let them scrape right along your ribs. We're gonna come all the way down to our belly on this first one. So as we inhale, we can lift up into baby cobra. So your hands are by your chest, right? You're lifting up, elbows are pointing straight behind you, shoulder blades are pulling together. You should be able to lift your hands off the mat if you wanted to here, because you're using just that back strength to hold you up. Now, if you wanna use a little upper body strength and make it a deeper back bend, then you come to up dog, you press your palms into the mat, straighten your arms, pull your chest up and through. Right? So you can be an up dog or baby cobra. Each time we flow, you decide, right? Wherever you ended up here, flip your feet, lift your hips up and back, come back through your down dog. All right, so let's do that a couple more times through. You're gonna bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands come to forward fold. As we inhale, we're gonna take a half lift into monkey, shoulders even with the hips. Exhale, fold, we're gonna do the twists. Don't think I forgot that, but walk your hands outside your right foot. Go all the way back as far as you can. And then come back to center. Then do it the other way. Walk your hands all the way outside that left foot. Come back to center. Take another half lift just because it feels good. Fold back down. Swan dive up. Drop your right hand. Reach that left hand up and over. Come back up, drop your left hand, reach that right hand up and over. Come back up, drop into cactus arms, open your chest, and then take a back bend. Inhale, come up tall, arms overhead. And then as you exhale, swan dive it all the way back down, forward fold. Another half lift monkey. Reset, fold, plant your hands, step or float back into plank. It can be from your knees or it can be from your toes. And then as you exhale, we're gonna lower through that chaturanga, bend your elbows, hug them to your ribs. As you inhale, come to baby cobra or come all the way to up dog, whatever feels better to you. And then exhale, back to down dog. All right, let's do that whole thing one more time through. Bend your knees. Look between your thumbs. Bring your feet towards your hands. Come to that forward fold. From forward fold, we're going to walk our hands over to the right. Come back to center. Walk your hands over to the left. Come back to center. Take a half lift to monkey. Fold back down. Swan dive up. Drop your right hand to your right side. Reach that left hand up and over. Come back up. Drop your left hand to your left side. Reach that right hand up and over. Come back to center. Cactus arms as you exhale. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, come up tall. Exhale, swan dive it all the way back down. Forward fold. One more half lift monkey. Fold back down. Plant your hands. Step or float back to plank from your knees or from your toes. As you exhale, you lower through that chaturanga. Bend your elbows. Hug them to your ribs. Inhale to baby cobra or up dog. And then exhale. Back to down dog. All right, from our down dog, we're going to come forward one more time. Bend your knees. Look between your thumbs. Bring your feet forward your hands. This time as we inhale, we're going to come up into chair. So bend your knees, send your hips back and down. Now, if you can't reach your hands forward, right? If that's not great for you, bring your hands to heart center, right? But make sure you can look down. You should be able to see your toes, wiggle your toes, your weight's all back in your heels. Your hips are going far enough back that your knees are covering your toes. Your chest is lifted. Now, we're going to start to move into our flow right here from chair. So what I want you to do, keep your right foot forward. Step your left foot back behind you. You can drop your left heel or you can keep your left toes off the ground. Then you're going to take your hands, sweep them back behind you, right? Hover your chest over your right thigh. So you're in that lightning bolt. Right? Your palms are up to the sky. Your thumbs are coming together. Now we're going to pulse. We're going to push your hands up towards the ceiling, right? It's just a little pulse, pulse. You should feel this in your tricep. Just do it a few times. And then from there, come to a stop. Now you're going to push your hands all the way forward and you're going to rise up. As you do that, let your left heel lift if it didn't already. You're going to straighten out your left leg and then turn your right leg. Turn your right toes towards the left side of the room. So you should be facing the long edge of your mat towards the left side of the room. I'm going to turn this way just so you guys can see me, right? You're in 5-pointed star, lengthening out, reaching your hands up to the sky. Now take your hands, drop them down to your hips. You want to take your thumb back behind your hip, your pointer finger to the front of your hips, so you're just kind of gripping your hips with your elbows out to the sides. From here, you're going to hinge at the hip, push your hips back behind you towards the right wall, bring your chest parallel to the ground, so the crown of your head is pointed straight ahead, right? If I was really doing this, I'd be looking down. I'm looking up because I'm trying to see what I look like on camera, but you should look like this, right? At that halfway point. Feel that pull in your hamstrings. Then from there, let yourself come all the way back down. Let your hands come to the mat. All right, so now we're here in a wide-legged forward fold. From here, you're going to keep your left hand planted to the ground. Take your right hand, reach it up to the sky. So you're twisting towards the front of your mat. Now let that right hand float back down. Come back into your wide forward fold. From here, we're going to yogi walk back into runner's lunge to the top of our mat. So you're going to turn your right toes towards the front of your mat, put a bend back into your right knee, walk your hands on either side of your right leg. All right, come here, so on camera. All right, so you want your right knee over your right ankle, your left leg is nice and long. Now, as I do this at first, I'm going to have my left toes up off the mat. I don't know if you can see them, hopefully you can. Right, but I've got my left heel up, right, sorry, my left toes are on the mat, my left heel is up off the mat. What you're going to do here, you're going to keep your hands on either side of your right foot. You're going to lift up with that left foot, and you're going to tap it off the right edge of your mat, right? It's like you're in that little curtsy lunge, but your hands stay on the ground to give you a little support. Now you're going to take that left leg, bring it back into your runner's lunge, right? Then just do that twice more, right? Lift the left foot up, tap it off the right edge of the mat, bring it back to runner's lunge. Do it one more time, tap it over, and then bring it back. As you come all the way back to runner's lunge this last time, just plant your left hand on the inside of your right foot. Take your right hand up to the sky. So on this twisted lunge. So your shoulders stack, chest opens towards the right side of the room. All right, now let your right hand float down here. You're just going to take your right foot, step it back to meet your left so that you're in plank. And then from your plank, take your flow here. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. And then exhale, shift. Down dog. All right, now we're gonna come forward again into our forward fold because that's where we started from, right? So bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands, come to forward fold. As you inhale here, we're gonna come up into chair. So bend your knees, send your hips back and down, reach your hands forward. Get low in your chair. And this time, right, we're gonna step back with the right foot, keeping the left foot where it is. So keep that deep bend in the left knee. Step back with your right foot. You can drop the heel, or you can keep the heel up, but sweep your hands back. Let your chest hover now over your left thigh. So palms are up to the sky, thumbs are coming together. Start your pulses straight up. Pulse, pulse, pulse. You should feel your triceps, the back of your arms. Engage here. All right, now come to a stop. Your hands are still reaching back behind you. You're gonna drop your right heel if you haven't already. Sweep your hands forward, straighten out your left leg, hands come to the sky, and then you turn your left toes towards the right long edge of your mat. So you're here in 5-point star, facing the right wall. So lengthen out here, make yourself as tall as you possibly can. Reach those fingertips to the sky. And like we did on the other side, you're gonna drop your hands down to your hips. Elbows to the sides. Hinge at the hip, come forward. Stop when your chest is parallel to the ground and the crown of your head is towards the long edge of your mat. And then from there, let yourself go all the way back down. Crown of the head towards the ground. Now this time, as we twist, right, you're gonna keep your right hand planted. You're gonna take your left hand up to the sky. So we're still twisting towards the front of the mat. Let your left hand come down, sink back into your fold. And this time we're gonna take that yogi walk towards the left foot as you end up in runner's lunge with your left foot at the front of the mat. Lift your right heel, right? So your right toes are on the mat, your right heel is lifted, hands are on either side of the left foot. You're just gonna pick up that right foot. This time you tap it off the left long edge of your mat. And then bring it back into runner's lunge. Right, do that twice more. Tap, bring it to runner's lunge, tap, bring it back to runner's lunge. Now this time, as we get all the way back to runner's lunge, you're gonna keep your right hand planted on the inside of your left foot. Take your left hand out to the sky, twist to the left. So you're stacking your shoulders here, opening your chest towards the left side of the room, crown of the head towards the front of the room. All right, now let that left hand drop. Step your left foot back, meet your right. Take your flow here. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale, shift. Down dog. All right, so we're gonna do all the stuff we already did one more time. Then we've got a little bit to add on to it. So we're gonna come back into that forward fold, bend your knees, look between your thumbs, bring your feet forward to your hands. From your forward fold, you're gonna peel up into chair, your version of chair. Get nice and low. We've got lots of chances at chair today, right? You're getting a little bit lower each time. Now this time, we're gonna keep the right foot forward. We're gonna step back with the left foot, sweep your hands back behind you, hover your chest. You're in that lightning bolt, pulse your arms. Pulse, 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 pulse. And then from there, let your hands come all the way up forward, straighten out your right leg, turn your right toes, bring yourself into 5-pointed star, facing the long edge of your the long left edge of your mat. Now drop your hands to your hips. We're gonna take that forward lean, right? So you're pushing your hips back like you're trying to knock somebody out behind you with your hips. Get your chest parallel to the ground. Crown your head towards the left side of the room. And then from there, let yourself come all the way down into your forward fold. Keep your left hand planted on the mat. Take your right hand, lift it up to the sky. Twisting towards the front of the room. Let that right hand float down and then yogi walk it back towards your right foot. So you're bringing yourself into runner's lunge here at the top of your mat. All right, keep your left toes off the mat here. Or I keep saying left toes, left heel off the mat. Your left toes are on the mat. So you're gonna lift up your whole left foot here. And then you're gonna tap it off the right long edge of your mat. Then you bring it back to runner's lunge. It's almost like a little hop. I do it twice more. Tap, bring it back. Tap, bring it back. Now you're gonna plant that left hand on the inside of your right foot. Take your right hand up to the sky. You're here in your twisted lunge. All right, now this is where we're gonna add on. So from your twisted lunge, if you have your left heel drop down to the mat now. So your left toes are pointed to the left. You're gonna lead with your left hand. Push away from that with it. Let it reach around, come all the way around. Just draw yourself right into warrior two. So deep, deep bend in that right knee, sending your right knee towards the pinky toe side of the foot. Looking right over the middle finger on your right hand. Now from warrior two, you're gonna let your hands come down behind you. Interlace them behind your back. Pull your shoulder blades together, push your knuckles towards the floor. Maybe lean back a little bit and look up in a back bend. Then we're gonna come all the way down into humble warrior. Bow forward, bring the right shoulder towards the inside of the right knee. Let your hands lift up and off your low back. Now, once we're all the way down, you're gonna release your hands. We're gonna rise up. As you rise up, your hips are gonna stay pointed to the left, but push your right leg all the way straight. Take your hands up to the sky, grab your right wrist with your left hand, and just pull back into Sky Archer. So we're opening up that right side body. Now from Sky Archer, you release your hands, bend in to your right knee, drop your left elbow, or your right elbow to your right knee. Take your left hand up to the sky. So you're here in the side angle. It can be this simple, right? If you want to reach those left fingertips towards the top of your mat, you can, right? But you don't want your chest to start to cave towards the mat. If that happens, then just keep your hand up to the sky. If you want to float that right hand down a little further, down your leg, you can. Maybe you can even get to the mat, right? But again, you want your chest to stay open. You don't want to be here, chest caving towards the floor. Now, wherever you are here, we're going to come back up to where we were before, into Sky Archer. So you lift your torso, straighten your right leg, hands go to the sky, grab that right wrist with the left hand, and pull to the back of the room. Now, release your hands here. We're going to come down to runner's lunge, right? As you get to runner's lunge, I'm going to come back a little bit so I'm more centered so you guys can see this, right? You're going to pick your left foot up, right? You're going to keep a bend in your right knee, but pick your left foot up, bend into your left knee, touch your left knee to the back of your right knee. So this little crouch. Now from here, we're going to sit all the way down, right? So think about the top of your left foot. That's what's going to land on the ground, not your toes, right? You don't want to be here where your toes land on the ground. You're pointing your toes so that the top of your foot can land on the ground. Once you do that, keep bending into the right knee. Drop your left knee down outside your right foot. And then drop your left hip all the way to the ground. So we ended up in this little twist. I'm going to come around so I'm facing here, right? But you should end up in a twist with your right foot over your left knee. Now, you can stay right here, right? If you want to, you can bring it to shoelace. You grab a hold of your right ankle with your left hand. Pull that right knee on top of the left so that your heels are on either side of your hips. So if that's open to you, go there. If you need to keep that right foot planted, keep that right foot planted. If none of this is comfortable to you, you can come back to easy sit. Just make sure your right leg is the one in front, right? So those are all your different options here. Now, wherever you are, take your hands up to the sky and then just fold forward. You're gonna bring your belly towards your right thigh. Reach your hands as far forward as you can without letting your hips come off the ground. Just a little stretch here. And then from here, walk it back up. Now we're just gonna make our way back into tabletop, right? So you can just roll over your knees and come there, or you can unwind your legs and bring it around. Whatever's good for you. We're back in tabletop, and then you're gonna step back into plank or modified plank and take your flow here. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale. Down dog. All right, so we just gotta finish off with that flow on the left side here, right? So we're gonna bring our feet forward to our hands one more time. Come to forward fold. And then from here, you're gonna come up into chair. Bend your knees, send your hips back and down. Reach your arms forward. Sink as low as you possibly can into your chair here. I promise you this time it is your last time in chair, all right? And then you're gonna keep that left foot forward. Step your right foot back behind you. Sweep your hands back behind you. Come to your thunderbolt. And then start to pulse your hands. One last time. Pulse, 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 pulse. And then come to a stop here. Drop your right heel if it's not already. Straighten out your left leg. Hands go to the sky. Left toes turn towards the right wall. And so now we're here in this 5-pointed star, facing the right side of the room. Drop your hands to your hips, elbows to the sides, and then lean forward. Bring the chest parallel to the ground. Take a little pause there when you're there with your chest parallel to the ground, and then let yourself come all the way back down into that forward fold. We're twisting towards the top of the mat again. So this time you keep that right hand planted on the mat. Take the left hand up to the sky. Let the left hand come down, and then you're going to yogi walk it back towards the top of your mat into runner's lunge with your left foot forward. Let your right heel lift off the mat. We're going to take those 3 taps one more time. So you're picking up your right foot, tapping them off the left edge of your mat. Bring it back to runner's lunge. Twice more. Tap. Bring it back. Tap. And bring it back. Right, then from here, plant the right hand on the inside of the left foot. Take your left hand up to the sky into your twisted lunge. Now here's where we add it on, right? So you're going to take the right heel down to the mat if it's not already. All right, lead with your right hand, push it off the mat, and then reach it forward, let it rainbow all the way around, drawing you right in to warrior 2. Deep bend in the left knee towards the pinky-toe side of the foot. Right, your arms are nice and stacked up. If you can see yourself in a mirror, right? You're looking over your left fingertips, you can't see your right hand disappearing behind you in the mirror. From our warrior 2, both hands are going to drop back behind you. You're going to place them behind your back, pull your shoulder blades together, open your chest, lean back, look up, and then dive all the way forward. Bring that left shoulder towards the inside of your left knee. Let your hands lift up and off your low back if they can. If they can't, they're just resting on your low back. You don't want that left shoulder resting on your left knee. Either it's inside your knee or it's hovering above your knee. All right, now we're going to release our hands here, and we're going to rise up into Sky Archer, right? So you push your left leg straight on the way up, your hands go to the sky, your hips are facing the right long edge of your mat, grab your left wrist with your right hand, pull to the back of the room, into your Sky Archer. And then release your hands, bend into your left knee, drop your left elbow to your left knee, right hands up to the sky. So you're here in your side angle, right? You can slide that left hand further down, or you can reach those right fingertips up and over, but keep your chest open. Now from wherever you are in your side angle, you come back to Sky Archer. So you straighten out your left leg, take your hands back up to the sky, grab that left wrist with the right hand, pull back. Release your hands here, drop them down on either side of your left foot. You're bending back into your left knee. And we're gonna take that one last twist here. So, right, you're gonna lift up, keep that bend in your left knee. You're gonna lift up your right foot, bend into your right knee, touch it to the back of your left knee. And then we lower down. So remember, it's the top of your foot, top of your right foot that hits the mat, right? And then you keep lowering down so that your right knee hits the mat, outside your left foot, and then you let your right hip hit the mat. So you should end up in this twist with the left foot stepped over the right. Now again, you can stay right here, you can take it to easy sit, or you can grab the left ankle, pull that left heel back by your right hip, stack your knees on top of each other into your shoelace, right? Find what feels good for you. If you're in easy sit, make sure that left leg is in front. If you're staying with the foot on the ground, make sure the left foot is stepping over the right. Because we're gonna fold forward here, right? Hands to the sky. Just bring your belly towards your left leg, where that is. And when you're ready, we're gonna bring it back into tabletop. So you're gonna make your way there. And then from your tabletop, you're gonna step back to plank or to modified plank. Take your last flow here. Exhale through your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale, shift. Down dog. Now we're gonna come forward again into forward fold this time so that we can take our feet wide once we get there. So you're coming to forward fold. You toggle your feet out wide to the edges of your mat. Heels in, toes out. Bend your knees, drop your hips, come down to your Vinyasa. Now, you can sit on a block in your Vinyasa. That makes it easier. If you don't love it with your block, without your block, you don't have a block, come down to bound ankle. Just bring your hips to the ground and the soles of your feet together. Find somewhere comfortable to be. Let your eyes close. Take just a moment here to reconnect with your breath. Make sure you still have that focus on your breath. Make sure you still have control of your breath. If you lost either of those things while we were flowing, this is your chance to get it back. Slow your breaths again. Lengthen your breaths again. Deepen your breaths again. All right, now, eventually, we're all gonna meet, right? We're gonna start in tabletop. We're gonna do our core work here. All right, so I'm gonna come here so you guys can see. Now, we're gonna drop down from tabletop to our forearms, right? So just come down to your forearms. You want the shoulders over the elbows. Your hands are making like that number 11 at the top of your mat. So you're not bringing your fingertips together. They're separate, they're parallel. Right? Now you can step back, you can come into a modified forearm plank, sliding your knees back, dropping your hips, right? Or you can come to a full forearm plank, tucking your toes, lifting your knees so you're here. Right? Now, from your forearm plank, I should probably turn sideways, it's gonna make it easier for you all to see. Okay. Be able to see. There we go. Now we'll go a little sideways. All right, this is probably good. All right, now if you're on your knees, right, you're gonna lift your right knee up. Put your right knee on top of your left knee. So like this. If you're on your toes, lift your right foot up and put your right toes on top of your left heel. Now, take that right foot or right knee, drop it back down, switch, right? So if you're on your knees, you take your left knee, put it on top of your right knee. Right? If you're on your heels, or if you're on your toes, lift your left foot up, put your left toes on top of your right heel. Take that left foot back down. Now everybody's going to drop to their knees, shift back to child's pose. Now bring it back up to tabletop here. All right, and we're going to do, I'm going to come this way, so I have to face the right way. We're going to come into a modified side plank. Most of you are going to want to keep it at modified side plank. If you want to take it to a full side plank, that's an option here. But you want to keep your left hand on the mat. You want your left shoulder over your left wrist. Now, your left foot is going to kick out to the left, but you want your left wrist to stay in one straight line to your left knee, right? Then you take your right leg, take it all the way along. Your right heel is going to be in line with your left knee and your left wrist, and your right hand goes up to the sky. Now, if you wanted to make it a full side plank, you just take that left leg and extend it so that your left toes came behind your right foot, or in front of your right foot, or stacked underneath your right foot. I'm going to keep it in this side plank here. Like I said, most people probably don't want to do it from modified, but if you're feeling good today, maybe you want to do it from the full. Now lift your right leg up, and then you're going to bend into your right knee, into your right elbow, touch your right knee and your right elbow together. And then extend that right leg long, extend that right hand up. Do that twice more. Elbow to knee, extend long, elbow to knee, extend long. Now your right foot should be off the ground here, right? Kick it forward. It's coming straight in front of you. It's still hovering off the ground. If you have to, you can drop a toe or drop a heel. But you can keep that right foot up, keep it up. Hold it for 2 breaths, kicking straight in front of you, towards the front of the room. And then sweep that right foot back, drop it down, drop your right hand, come back to tabletop. All right, so let's do that the other way. Okay, so here you're gonna keep that right hand down, your right shoulder over the right wrist. It's in line with your right knee. You're keeping that right knee where it is, just kicking that right foot out to the right side, and then you're extending your left leg long. So I come a little bit more forward here so you can see my whole left foot. All right, and then you're gonna take your left hand up to the sky. So now we're here in this modified plank. You can make it a full plank if you want. Lift your left foot up. Bend into your left knee, bend into your left elbow, touch them together. Extend long. Do that twice more. Elbow and knee together. Extend it long. Elbow and knee together. Extend it long. Now your left foot's still off the ground. Really flex your left foot here and just kick it straight in front of you. It's like you're trying to kick towards the top of the mat, like you're trying to kick your right wrist with your left foot. Just hold it for 3 breaths. If you gotta drop a heel, drop a toe, then do that. Now take that left leg, swing it back, drop it down, come back into tabletop, and now shift back into your child's pose. When you're ready here, you're gonna bring it back up into tabletop. This time, as we come to tabletop, you're gonna drop your hips to one side or the other. Swing your legs around in front of you. All right, so we're gonna come into bound ankle here, right? Some of you were there before when we were doing the Vinyasa. You bring the soles of your feet together, let your feet fall out to the sides, right? Now you can stay right here, hands on the feet, sitting up nice and tall, pushing those knees open, right? If this is where you wanna be, you can stay right here. I'm gonna give you some options if you wanna add a little bit onto it, right? First, you can just start to walk your hands forward, bringing your chest forward. You keep your back flat. Walk your hands past your feet, right? It adds a little bit of a stretch to the low back, adds a little intensity in the stretch to the legs. If that feels good to you, maybe you can walk even further forward than I can, then you can do that, right? If it doesn't, maybe you're right here. Your other option is to go to turtle. Hands to the inside of the diamond shape of your legs. Slide those hands underneath your ankles, wrap them around your feet from the outside. And then if you get to there, you can round out. You tuck your chin to your chest and you drive your forehead towards your feet. All right, that adds a lot of stretch to the low back. Maybe too much for some people, so don't go there if it doesn't feel good. Right? Maybe it does feel good. And you want to hang out there. And all the different options, find which one your body needs. Whatever version you're in, if you need more intensity in the legs, you can draw your heels closer to your body. And if you want to back it off, you can push those heels further away. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then slowly bring it back up. Now, as you bring it back up here, you're gonna keep this bend in your left knee, but you're just gonna kick your right leg straight. And then you can bring that left foot against the inside of the right thigh. So we're in this half butterfly position here. Now, we're gonna fold here, but we're gonna do it a little bit differently. I still want you to angle yourself towards your right leg, but bring both hands to the outside of the right leg. And then start to walk out. So you're kind of walking out at a diagonal here. See how that changes the stretch. You still feel it in your left hamstring, but you're getting a little stretch in that low back too as you take the twist. 4 breaths here. Now you're going to come back up. And then from there, you're going to extend your left leg long, or sorry, your right leg, bend into your left knee, right? So we're going to do that on the other side. So you're bringing the sole of the left foot against the right inner thigh now, right? Flex into that right foot, bring both hands outside the right leg, and then walk it at that diagonal here, right? So as you're still trying to bring your chest to your left thigh, right? Your left upper thigh. Just come as far forward as you can. Back up. Face forward again. Now you're going to bring both feet in, right? So your feet are on the ground and your knees are up to the sky. We're going to lay down on our back here. And take your hands out long, take your chin to your chest, round it all down so you're laying on your back. And once you're laying on your back, bring your hands to your sides, palm face down. Maybe walk your feet in a little closer this time. Get them as close as you can get them to your glutes, maybe close enough that your fingertips brush the back of your heels. Push into all 4 corners of both feet and lift your hips up off the back. Come to your bridge here. If you have a block and you want to slide that block underneath your hips, that's an option. right? Be in a supported bridge, whether you're in supported or unsupported bridge, everybody should tuck their shoulders at least slightly so your chest starts to puff open. If you're in unsupported bridge and you want to make this really deep, work one entire shoulder, then the other underneath your body. Pushes your hips even higher. Wherever you are, take 3 more breaths. And then as you exhale, let your hips float back down nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. So from here, we're going to go into our waterfall. Now, if you want to block under your hips for waterfall, you can have that. It makes it slightly more intense with a block under your hips. Right? You don't have to. Your hips can stay on the ground. Either way, you're taking your feet straight up to the sky, flexing your feet like you're going to step up on the ceiling. Get the feet up above the head and the heart, sending the blood from the feet, where it pulls all day, back to the head and the heart where you need it more. If you want to take this to full shoulder stand, if that's in your practice, you can go there. That's when you lift your hips up on your own. Put your hands in the small of your back so you're supporting yourself on your shoulders and your forearms. Right, so you can be in shoulder stand, you can be in waterfall, you can be in supported waterfall. Let your body tell you what it needs here. In addition to that increased circulation I talked about, we're also naturally lowering our blood pressure, flooding the body with all sorts of anti-aging, anti-stress hormones. All good things happen when you get a little bit upside down. Now when you're ready to come out of this, we're all going to come out of it the same way. Bend your knees. Let them scrape right along your face and body. Slowly drop your feet back down to the mat. Let your feet come all the way back down to the mat. You're going to roll forward just slightly. So now you want to feel your sacrum press the mat. So, it is that. If you had a block underneath your hips, take that block out. So you can press that sacrum, the low part of your back, into the mat. Then we're going to come to happy baby. So your feet come up to the sky again. Maybe this time they don't come right over your hips if that's going to pull your sacrum up off the mat. Or maybe they're a little diagonal. That's okay. You're going to separate your feet, maybe slightly, maybe a lot. Bend your knees, maybe slightly, maybe a lot. Reach up for your same foot with your same hand. If you can't grab your foot, grab your ankle, your shin, your knee, wherever you make that connection, it's fine. Right? Then you start to rock from side to side. You want to feel that sacrum pressing into the mat. It should feel like a little spinal massage. If it doesn't feel great doing the rock, then don't do it. Stay still. If you want to change your leg position now that you're in the pose, change it, right? If your legs go wider or straighter or bend more, come in more. Just find somewhere where it feels really amazing to you. Give yourself another couple breaths. And when you're ready here, you're going to hug your knees all the way back into your chest. And we're going to take our final twist. So let your arms go out long like wings in that T position. As you exhale, drop your knees to the right. As your chin and gaze go to the left. If you want to make it deeper, you can take your right hand, press down on those knees with your right hand. You're going to extend your toes toward your right fingertips. Keep that left shoulder anchored. That's what's giving you the twist. As you inhale here, bring your knees back up to center. And then as you exhale, drop your knees to the left. Take your chin and your gaze to the right. Take that left hand, press down on your knees or extend your legs. You can stay where you are. We always finish off with this twist, seal up our practice. Let our bodies remember everything that happened today. So next time we can practice, it's all a little easier. We go everywhere a little deeper. All right, as you inhale next here, bring your knees back up to center. Give them one final hug into your chest. And we'll set up for our final pose, our Shavasana, right? So extend your legs long, take your hands to your sides. That's your traditional Shavasana, flat on your back. You don't have to stay there if it's not comfortable to you. You can bend your knees, you can butterfly your legs, you can roll to your belly, roll to your side. Or you can sit up, right? Just find somewhere to be where you're perfectly comfortable, where you're gonna be able to stay perfectly still. Most importantly, where your mind is gonna be able to go perfectly quiet. If you're here in the studio, I'll come around and give you a little spray, sea salt. On your towel, then you put this towel over your eyes if you're at home. If you have a towel, put it over your eyes. If you don't have a towel, just close your eyes. Let your breath start to take over here. You do that by letting that control that you had over it throughout practice go. Don't try to control your breath anymore. Just do what it wants to do. But as you release control of your breath, keep that full focus on your breath. Keep noticing your breath. Keep observing your breath. And that way your breath can begin to guide you. And it can guide you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. When you get there, that's your true quiet of the mind. Now slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Feeling that increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, you can take your arms overhead, do a nice full, deep body stretch. And from there, roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there just to reacclimate to our space. Let the sights, the sounds of the room come back to you. As long as you need right here. Then when you're ready, only when you're ready, push yourself up to seated and breathe. We'll close here. So inhale and exhale. We're going to close with our 2 Mari breaths and an Om. The inhale, we inhale, and then we exhale. We make that little humming sound back of the throat. That's the Mari breath. We're going to do that twice, right? Then we'll do an Om, the universal syllable, using all parts of the throat. We'll do that one time at the end. So you can join me in these breaths if you'd rather. Just listen. Let's close our eyes here and inhale together. time and Om. Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this morning. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. All right, so I will be here tomorrow and we'll do a little gentle yoga, same time, 10 a.m. Next Saturday, I won't be here, so we're not gonna have a slow flow class next Saturday. It's the beginning of spring break because a lot of us are out of town and blah, blah, blah. There is a ton of slow flow classes up on our Facebook group. So if you need to do one that morning, you can. Maybe I'll bring a couple to the forefront before I go so that you can find them easily. But no live class next Saturday. But Angie will be here that Sunday to do a live class for you for gentle. But I will be here tomorrow to do some gentle for you. So join me for that. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend.